to your channel Enjoy Books, and as you know the title of the video, so let's start without wasting time. Rich Dad Poor Dad. So when I got to know about this book, I thought it would just be contrasting the thoughts of a rich person versus a poor person. But you know what? It's not true. Let me tell you, this book can just be summarized in 15 to 20 minutes. As this is not a story, it's an experience of a person who is teaching you how you can be rich from a poor person. So, to have a fair idea about the book, what it wants to say, this is the index just for your reference. What a review without an author! Robert Kiyosaki, who wrote this book, is an American businessman and an investor. He is also an author and a speaker as well. He has also created Cashflow board game and Cashflow software, which I'll discuss with you later. And one important thing which I would like to say here, his wife, Kim Kiyosaki, whom he has discussed so many times in his book, she had been a fantastic partner of his life. So I would just focus on the most important points which I liked in this book. Those points I'm going to discuss with you. So stay tuned. This book teaches you how money can work for you. This might sound strange, but this is true for a rich person. Most of the people in general work for money. And here comes your poor and middle class person. We'll understand it later, but let's know what makes the difference between a poor and a rich person. It is financial intelligence, which is not taught in our schools. In schools, we are told to go to school to get good marks, to find a safe, secure job. Mark my words, it's safe, secure job. But you know what? Robert Kiyosaki says job is really a short-term solution for a long-term problem. In a job, you have to work there, you have to be present there to get your monthly income. But suppose if you are told to go and have a tour with your family members, let's say for a month, and you work at job, what is going to happen? So how would you get your monthly income if you're not present at the job? This is what the point I want to make you understand. So here I would like to light some of the points what Robert Kiyosaki said. He said real assets falls into the following categories, in which he says in his first point, business that do not require my presence, I own them, but they are managed or run by other people. If I have to work there, it's not a business, it becomes a job. Now, what do you think about it? Then you have other things like stocks, bonds, notes, etc. Schools are designed to produce good employees instead of employers. If you work for money, you give the power to your employer. And if money works for you, you keep the power and control it. Now, before moving ahead, let's understand assets and liabilities by Robert Kiyosaki. He says an asset puts money in my pocket and a liability takes money out of my pocket. So let's take an example. If I lend a house of rupees 8,000 per month, suppose, so the money I would be getting from it is going to be added to my income. That's why it is going to be an asset. But if I purchase a car or a scooty, I'm going to spend money on it through petrol, diesel, or whatsoever it is. And this is going to be a liability. Let's understand the cash flow pattern, how Robert Kiyosaki describes it. There you have income statement having income and expenses, and you have a balance sheet having assets and liability. So asset is going to add money into your income, and in the case of cash flow of a liability, this is the point where liability is going to take money out of your pocket. Isn't it interesting? The last point which I would like to add here, what he says, tax paid by a poor person is far greater than the rich person, and this can be understood by this. So let's have two columns. In first, we have business owners with corporations. In the second, we have employees who work for corporations. A business owner earn, spend, and then pay taxes, whereas an employee earn, pay taxes, and then spend. In the left side, you can see what a poor person does, but simultaneously in the right side, you can see how financial intelligence is making a rich person more richer. A most important concept here is a difference between taxes paid by a rich person versus person who is an employee. An employee pays taxes, which is known as income tax, but a rich person pays taxes, which is on the profit whatsoever you have earned minus your expenses, and what is left now is your profit, which your tax is going to be paid on. This is going to be this much amount, and here is you understand what is financial intelligence and how it helps you. So a simple observation by him I would like to tell you: rich buy assets, poor have only expenses, and the middle class buy liabilities which they think are assets. Now I would like to tell my experience with this book. This book was recommended me by one of my cousin, and then I also got to know from one of my neighbor. So it's 2 years ago. I also got this recommendation on Google as well. So I thought, let's read it once. And when I read it, it shook my mind, and my mind was blown up. And I would say this is one such book which convinces you to think out of the box. I never knew about stock markets, how stock markets and mutual fund and the other investment platforms work, but when I got to know one by one in the book, I searched on it and then I proceeded. And the same way, I want to suggest to you that you also, if you are like me, you can also do the same. At the age of 18, where I stand today, this book has been one of the incredible book which has really changed my life. And now I have also started thinking about how would I be investing in mutual funds from stock market also, but I'm thinking to start with mutual funds first from this year onwards. So that is a great thing, where it is inspiring us to invest in such platforms where we think of risk and we forget it. So the subject where I had never interest in, now I am daily searching on these topics, and this is one such great thing for me. An important point which I would like to tell here is the cash flow game which he has created. I have also played with it. At first I didn't know how to play with it, but then second time, so first time I was bankrupted, and then the second time when I started, and then I kept on growing, and then I earned, I forgot how much amount was it. It would be on the screen. So because my storage was too much low, my tab was hanging, and that's why I had to play it on web page. You can also download a game, cash flow game, from Play Store. Last but not the least, a point which I would like to add here is start early. What he says is, whensoever you got to know about such financial intelligence, you need to start it early. The sooner you will start knowing these things, you would be financially independent sooner. So this is all about the video, and I hope you would have got some fair idea about how this book is, and you are also going to invest there in such like mutual fund and all. So I hope you like this video. So do comment in the comment section if you have read this book. Please tell me your feedback so that all of us would be inspired. And if you have to read it, then start early. What are you waiting for? See you soon in the next video. Bye.